Let's get it. Let's go. People, welcome back to Around the Bloxxx with Mike Knoxxx. I am your host, of course, Mike Knoxxx. And indeed, I spell my name with 3 X's because like the promos that have been released this week by one Cody Rhodes and Jon Mox, and a.k.a. Dean Ambrose, I am hardcore. People, welcome back to the shows the pros, icons, ayatollahs, and rock and rollers all tune in and listen to with yours truly, Mike Knoxxx. Make sure you follow me on Twitter by my namesake. I am loud, I speak loud, and fellas, frankly, if you're not making her loud, well, frankly, that's your problem, not mine. Today, guys, I got a big show to talk with you guys about. I was not here last week. Car broke down. Damn it, I was pissed the F off. I mean, come out of your job, go start your car, and next some bitch don't move, you'll be mad too. So I was not here last week, so I have a lot to catch up on from last week's show. I won't go back into SmackDown from a week ago, but I promise you my top 10 black wrestlers of all times list. I have that before you, and I will share that with you as well. My all-time top 10 black wrestlers to exist. Okay, I will give you the reasons for this list and much, much more. But we will talk about today, as I just said, why I'm hardcore. Cody Rhodes, Jon Mox, and Dean Ambrose. Double or Nothing. Brock Lesnar calling it quits. What does that mean for you wrestling fans? And also, as always, the week in the WWE. We shall talk about all of that and dim sum. But what's more important right now, guys? What seems to be on everybody's minds this morning? I know one thing. At 12:05 a.m., p.m. probably there in the West Coast, 9:05, right? But I was asleep. Actually, that's a lie. I was actually up at 12:05. I was watching the NBA playoffs, and I didn't know this hit until about 8 o'clock this morning. But at 12:05 last night, hashtag I'm a Dean Ambrose guy. Let's cross it out and start anew. I said this from the beginning. Hashtag I'm a Johnny Moxon fan. Always have been, always will be. He drops this cryptid, and I mean cryptid promo last night that has the wrestling world a buzz, okay? A lot of things in this promo were, as we call in the comic book world, Easter eggs, shall we speak. They had in this promo where he was breaking out of prison. Some would say that damn jail cell was Vincent Kennedy McMahon in the WWE. Let's talk about that. Comment below. Let me know how you feel about that at all. Comment below. Let me know. That's not mine. That's my man, Jeremy Johns on Twitter, if you will, so to speak. Also, in this promo, as he's breaking out of prison, smashing into the prison walls, being the hardcore son of a bitch that I know he is and I love and you should love, he also comes out of the prison. He breaks out going through the yard. Now, anybody been to prison? Raise your hand. I haven't been to prison. I've been to jail. I've been to turnkey, but I never been to prison. But I visited jails before, and we all watch ours. If you haven't, go watch it and then get scared about going to prison later. But coming through the yard, you got to break out. You just can't go in the yard and think you're the baddest son of a bitch in the yard. Does that mean the wrestlers? Does the yard implicate or implement, if you will, so to speak, that he's referring to Roman Reigns? What does that all mean? Then he breaks out. He goes into this town. It's after hours. It's empty. You see some dice in the window that gives you 25 on the dice. What is happening this 25th of May? Double or Nothing. Does that mean he's going to All Elite Pro Wrestling? They can afford him. Is he going there? You also have your WWE marks, not me, because I am a WWE mark, but not in this agreement. This is a repackaging, if you will, so to speak, by the WWE. I call bullshit on that. Anybody who thinks that Dean Ambrose, after dropping this video promo, is still with the WWE, have your head examined, because Vince McMahon would never allow some things that were in this promo, like blood. He had blood on his hand with the barbed wire. What does that represent? Let's talk about it. Let's be about it. Also, over the weekend, because this has been a great weekend, people. Yes, my car broke down, but I saw Avengers Endgame. Not once, but twice. I saw Avengers Endgame. You should go see it too. I might go see that shit a third time this week. I'm serious. I might go see it again. And I know you guys out there are watching the leaked copy. Well, FYI, If you have not watched it in the movie theater first and you're watching the lead copy, you're missing about 10 minutes of the movie. And 10 minutes of the movie can be important. No spoiler alerts, just saying you might want to watch the whole movie in its entirety and stop being a cheap-ass person and go see the movie out loud in person. But Cody Rhodes cuts a promo over the weekend. And he says, I'm not just here to kill my brother. I'm here to kill the Attitude Era. Did y'all hear this promo from Cody Rhodes? I personally loved it. I mean, being a Cody Rhodes guy, second tier, shout out to Phil Bailey. He's the biggest Cody Rhodes fan I knew. He was the first Cody Rhodes fan I knew, rather. Then I came along and just snatched it from him. But two of my favorite guys, not in the WWE anymore, for all those who think I got the battery pack on my back, I love Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. or his real name, Johnny Moxon. Okay, I love Cody Rhodes. Always have, always will. I'm not a new Cody Rhodes fan like most of the internet world out there. All of a sudden now you're a Cody's fan, right? Where were you at when Dashing Cody was still Cody Rhodes? Okay, where were you at then? Okay, did you just hate him because he was Stardust? Stardust. He even took Stardust and made it work, in my opinion. But he talks about this pissant bodybuilder. Definitely a shot back at Triple H for the Hall of Fame ceremony when Mr. Badass Billy Gunn stated, he can't fire me. And then Triple H responded with, watch it. Vince will buy that pissant company and fire you then. So Cody, to me, definitely took offense, should have took offense, and responded with offense. Hi, Dwayne. Your arms is too short to box with God. That's not Cody's. That's Punk's. And he mentions Punk about how great Dwayne was and electrifying Dwayne was. But did it mean more to the company than what Punk said on the stage? A lot of things were said in these promos. If you have not seen them, I will put the description and a link below. When I'm done the show, we're live on Facebook Live. We're live on YouTube Live. We're just live wherever social media is so, which you can find me at Mike Knox with 3 X's, but you're already tuned in, so you're already listening. So that's for the other people and for listening live. And this show, as always, and every show is brought to you by hashtag Use Your Head, thechairshot.com. Also on Twitter at chairshot.com as well. Make sure you listen to not just this show, but all the other shows, the DeMarco show and many, many other shows out there for you. If you don't like my voice, which is fine because my wife likes my voice. I'm not sure if my kids like my voice because they don't get yelled at as much as I think they get yelled at, but you know, I'm a parent. They're my kids. They probably don't like my voice. If you don't like my voice, that's okay. Head on over to thechairshot.com, hashtag Use Your Head, where we're constantly trying to refocus wrestling fans into what you loved about the business. Focus and hashtag Use Your Head, because use your head. That's that lump 3 feet above your ass, right, Jimmy? Not mine, just Jimmy Dugan's also. But both these promos spoke volumes to where they are. Like the Jon Moxon video, I thought it couldn't get better than Cody. I thought Cody hit the nail on the head. That's how you show a program. That's how you show your organization. That's what you do. And then this Johnny Moxon video comes out, promo comes out, whatever you want to call it. Vignette is what I will call it because he didn't really talk in the promo. So it's not really a promo. It's more of a vignette. This vignette hits in the middle of the day, middle of the morning. And the symbolism, because I'm an art production studio journalism major, so I know about symbolism and I understand it. I respect it. I don't hide from things that are in plain sight. What else could a jail cell mean if he's no longer under contract with the WWE? It means he broke out of the prison. He could not be himself. Anybody who was a Jon Moxon fan like I was prior to coming to the WWE back in the CZW days, you would know that you never seen a Jon Moxon match where you didn't catch blood, that it wasn't violent, that and it's wrestling, it's pro wrestling fans. And WWE is not a pro wrestling program, guys. It's a sports entertainment program. So if you're a pro wrestling fan, you had to have been pulling out your hair at what you were getting from Dean Ambrose, right? Some would say Dean Ambrose melted in plenty of times. Go back to the Stone Cold podcast where Stone Cold even said to him, what do I get from you? I'm not getting anything from you. Well, who are you? Who is Dean Ambrose? And Dean really couldn't answer that question because Dean, in my opinion, didn't know who he was because he knew who he wanted to be. But these 20-some plus writers in the back blowing smoke up Vincent's ass put out these things he had. Ketchup and mustard. Remember that stuff? Come on, guys. Excuse me. Here, drink of water there. But a lot of things in these promos. Like, wrestling fans that are all over social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are, always complain and always bitch about storylines and this storyline. I'm gonna get into that in a second. I'm talking about Raw and SmackDown. But here you are as a pro wrestling fan. If you could not enjoy it, you don't have to like it. It may not be your cup of tea. These guys may not be your guys. But as a pro wrestling fan, this has to be encouraging. This has to be encouraging when you hear rumors out there that the Revival turned down $500,000 a year. According to Bully Ray over at Busted Open Radio, that's attitude era money. That means the WWE is afraid of losing guys if they're offering $500,000 each to these guys over 5 years. But what have they done with the Revival? So a lot needs to pay attention to Jon Mox, a.k.a. Dean Ambrose's promo. A lot should be paid attention to Cody Rhodes' promo, or as he has to be called, Cody, and AEW, because WWE refuses to give him his name back. It's his damn birth name. Give it to him back. These promos were completely amazing. They got me all engulfed. I will not be at Double or Nothing. I wish I could. I was not at All In. I wish I could. This is not a thing about me not wanting to go to the shows. It's just timing. But I will be in their show in July in Jacksonville, as I am an hour and a half from Jacksonville. So I will be at their July show, which is rumored to be their first television taping. One of their pay-per-views. So I will be there in Jacksonville for All Elite Wrestling. But watching these promos, first Cody Rhodes' promo, we know that's All Elite Wrestling, but what does Jon Mox, a.k.a. Dean Ambrose's promo or vignette, mean? Does this mean AEW? Can the marks be right? Which I don't think they are. Can this be a repackaging by Vince? I just can't see Vince taking the name Dean Ambrose, that he's made a superstar, that he's made millionaires, has given him money. And I see your questions and comments in the comment section. I will get to you momentarily. And thank you all for joining. Please make sure you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, wherever social media show that Mike Knox 3X's. And this podcast will be later available also on chairshot.com, hashtag user head. And as always, BDSIRnetworks.com, hashtag, as my man David Otunga would say, Google Mike Knox, and you'll find out where I'm at. I have more pages now than the rapper, facts, and the wrestler. But with all that being said, and I look at these promos, I go, wrestling's in a good place. And Vince is not finna have Dean Ambrose come back after all he's invested in Dean Ambrose and give him a whole new repackaging under Jon Mox. So that's why I can't believe it. Is it beyond the realm of possibilities? Absolutely not. It's Vince McMahon. He can throw money away wherever he wants to throw money away. And we've seen him throw money away. Look how much money they spend on guys over the years in destroying Corvettes and everything else that they've destroyed. And not just Stone Cold Steve Austin, but a slew of other wrestlers have just destroyed private property all over the place. So I don't take that from Vince. I just don't see this being something Vince will do. So I'm all in, pun intended, and I'm rolling the dice on Double or Nothing that All Elite Pro Wrestling, once it hits, will be what we're looking for. And again, guys, if what you're looking for is pro wrestling, then look no further than NXT. Okay? I don't talk about it much. You don't talk about it much, but it's the best show out there today. It factually is, in my opinion. Now, I can't say factually, didn't say my opinion, but although people tell me all the time, I make my opinion seem like facts. Well, frankly, that's your weak-ass mind fault if you cannot understand that my opinion has passion and I make my passion feel like fact, because to me, it's damn near is fact. So to me, the best wrestling show, pro wrestling show out, facts, bar none, is NXT. But All Elite Pro Wrestling will be hitting the airways real soon. Cannot wait to talk about that and see that up and close and personal. Also, before I get into Raw and SmackDown, because I know you guys want to beat it down as it this week should be, and possibly last week. I can't remember what my rating was last week. Car broke down. F it, I don't care. But Brock Lesnar. Damn. Retires from MMA. Two things I have to ask you. First of all, as wrestling fans, we've utterly, openly have said this. Why do you like Brock so much? It's because he's a draw, because of us, and because of MMA fans hating wrestling fans. But Brock Lesnar is a 5-3 fighter. 5-3, guys. His last win, which would have made him 6-3 against Hunt, was stripped from him because he tested positive for steroids. So since his return to the UFC after the first stint, he is 0-2-1. But he's Brock Lesnar. He brings contracts. He brings big money pay-per-views in. But he doesn't deserve a world title match that he was trying to get with a payday for All About Them Cakes, Daniel Cormier. So now looking at the UFC, looking at Daniel Cormier versus strip Mana 2 for the heavyweight title. So, but that's UFC. We're talking wrestling. Brock Lesnar. Comment below, right there. Right, my camera. There it is. Comment below. Let me know if you want to see Brock Lesnar back. And will you see Brock Lesnar back? And if they bring Brock Lesnar back, will you turn off your TV? I'll tell you this much. Brock Lesnar is big time pay-per-view. This is facts. This is not my opinion that's trying to make it sound like it's fact. This is actual truth. Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Roman Reigns, these guys bring ratings. It's what it is. You don't have to like it or love it. It's factual. They bring ratings. Me personally, never had a problem with Brock Lesnar. I did understand and feel the pain of wrestling fans that he was holding the belt hostage. But hey, the company wants to pay you money. You do what you got to do. Don't be mad at Brock Lesnar. As I said before, be mad at Vincent Kennedy, KKK McMahon. Okay? That's who you be mad at. So Brock Lesnar, will we see him? We'll talk about that in the comments below over the next coming weeks and on social media as well. So we talked about already, or giving you my opinion already of the Cody Rhodes promo, the Jon Mox promo, aka Dean Ambrose, and our opinions about Brock Lesnar. I think you will see him back. And part of me doesn't want to see Dean Ambrose back. I'm sorry, not Dean Ambrose. I do want to see him back one day. Brock Lesnar. And here's the reason why. Brock Lesnar has to be with Paul Heyman. I believe, have no facts of this. I know nothing of this. I believe if, what's going on, Sudif? I'm live on everything else. I see in a second. I believe if Brock Lesnar comes back, you only get Paul Heyman in that light. Right? I need to see Paul Heyman without Brock Lesnar. And I think if Paul Heyman is paired with other people, Brock would complain and bitch and not wrestle for whatever reason. He's entitled to it, whatever. But that's just my belief. Because if Paul Heyman is under contract with the WWE, what is taking them so long to pull the trigger to get other guys over, right? Whether it was Becky Lynch, whether it was Ronda Rousey, whether it's at this point, insert any wrestler you want to or you believe should be a Heyman guy to have a Heyman stable again. Why? Why not pull that trigger? I think Brock has something to do with that. I'm thinking if Brock is going to be there, Brock has it under contract, maybe even that it's only with Paul Heyman. So how does that go? Do you want to see Paul Heyman with somebody else? I know I do. Okay, maybe the Authors of Pain. Anybody that's not being utilized to help Heyman elevate them to the top. That's what I want to see. That's what I think we need to see. But we'll find out in the coming weeks to come when we get Brock Lesnar back and when we ever see Paul Heyman there again. But and I do have my top 10 wrestling list coming up. And I tell you this much, it's not like other people's top 10 black wrestling lists because I didn't just use, my history. I didn't just use, they put butts in the seats. I didn't just use mic skills and ring ability. I used it all. Okay. So could they have it all? And there's some people that should have been on this list that may not have made the list. Okay. And remember, at the end of the day, guys, you can have your own list too. Just like Manny, Mo, Jack, your Aunt Lucy, and your Grandma Cheryl. It's okay. It's their list. It's your list. This is Mike Knox's list. Top 10 black wrestlers of all time. We'll get to that momentarily after talk about Raw and SmackDown. And what I will not do is sit here, because I'm lying. I say this back and forth every week. I know I'm the greatest tennis player because I play by myself. You talking about, remember pocket ball, fellas? Women, you know when guys are playing pocket ball, right? I'm not playing pocket ball right now. I'm just playing because sometimes that's how I feel and sometimes it's not how I feel. And how I feel this week is I'm not going to let you pull me in and talk about all your negativity about wrestling. I'm talking about the good things about Raw and SmackDown because they're okay. Factual. There wasn't many good moments of Raw and SmackDown, right? Like, what the fuck did we see on Monday Night Raw? Sorry, mama. I'm just saying. What was Raw, right? I will say it was okay. It wasn't great, but I've seen a lot of worse Raws. So I let that sit there. And SmackDown I thought was pretty good, to say pretty good would be a stretch, right? Was okay. So I thought Raw was so-so and SmackDown was okay. And here's my reason. Here's the things I thought were good about Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn, you can call him boring all you want to, Huggo. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Huggo. You're right there. You know who you are. Sami Zayn's boring. Sami Zayn's nothing but not being boring. Sami Zayn, for me, has been telling you guys for the last 3 weeks what I've been saying for 10 years on this podcast game, over 2,086 podcasts credited to my BDSIR Network's name. Not just mine, but the group of people that help us do that. Thank you. And what nothing Daniel Bryan has been telling you for over the last 10 months. Just different. Daniel Bryan adds the earthly tone. But Daniel Bryan was saying the same things that we're hearing from Sami Zayn. The fans, the fans, the fans. So as long as he keeps saying that and being the dope-ass wrestler that he is, I'm rocking with Sami Zayn. Also, the Usos versus the Revival. Y'all can sit there with your $2 suits, your 50-cent haircuts, and complain all you want to about them watching the Revival in the shower shave their backs. Was it kind of corny? Yes, it was. But I remember a point where I got Jericho in the shower with Christian. But I remember y'all didn't say that was bad. See, here's my thing with wrestling fans. As I said, I wouldn't get on you, but I lie. At least to myself, not to you. Because I don't want to offend anybody, and I want to make things a good show. And sometimes I juggle between, do I come at fans or do I not come at fans? And I realized what I said a couple weeks ago. If what I have to say in my love for the WWE isn't for you, as much as I want you to listen, and I used to say, don't like it, listen anyway, then maybe this ain't the show for you. But I'm going to talk about honestly about how I feel about the product. That's what I want to do. That's what I think is missing. People don't speak honestly about the product. They speak like they spoke about Endgame. Oh, it has plot holes and blah, 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 blah. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, you might want to leave. It's time. Wherever there's time, there's plot holes, okay? So everything has holes in it. So when wrestling fans sit here and tell me that, oh, that was corny, them shaving their backs, the Revival, the Usos are better than that, they are better than that. But you know what this is? Maybe not to you, not even to me. Even though I'm on board with it, because I know where it's going. It's a build towards storyline. Yes, we would rather have them in the ring and have a match. This is what gets me wrestling fans, right? You want to sit there and say, oh, put them in a match and then have the rivalry be built through wrestling. Little to none rivalries are built strictly, solely off of in-ring. It just doesn't happen, guys. That's not the arc to pro wrestling. Wrestling is storyline. Hashtag wrestling is storyline. Hashtag, I gotta say it, death to dirt sheets. Stay away from dirt sheets and watch what you should know. Be educated, as this is the show for the intelligent wrestling fan. And know that everything in wrestling, everything in life, I don't care if it's music, fashion, entertainment, it's all repeats itself. It all repeats itself. Okay, so the Usos and the Revival, they're the best two tag teams in the WWE right now. Okay, let this play. It's gonna end up playing out in the ring. So the fact that people complain about it, it baffles me because you know it's gonna end up playing out in the ring. So let it play out in the ring as it shall and as it will. So I'm on board for the Revival and the Usos. Okay, plus I'm Uso crazy, so hey, don't judge me. Also on Raw, what I thought was a plus. Wasn't here to do my show last week, which I through social media got a bunch of bitching and moaning about. That I said, give it time. It hadn't been one time. I saw the second one. And guess what, guys? Now some fans are getting on board, which I said from the beginning I was on board with. And that's the Firefly Funhouse. Mr. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, from the beginning, guys. Y'all remember when Bray Wyatt first came from NXT? And everybody said, oh, it had that Cape Cod Fear, or Cape Fear, I'm sorry, storyline to it. That's a storyline they've been trying to use with him for quite some time. They tried it with, what's the guy's name? Rose, the guy who put the lollipop in his mouth, whatever. They tried it with him for a while when he was Leo Kruger in NXT. They tried it about 20-something years ago with Danny Spivey. This is a character that they've held on to for so long that Dean Ambrose, he's on my mind. Bray Wyatt is able to pull off. You saw it in him in the beginning. This is what I see. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying this is going to happen. If it doesn't happen, it's what it is. I see him snapping in all this happiness and funness and just flipping out because this isn't him. And he has to go crazy because every person who's doing what he's doing is crazy. And he's playing crazy very well. What if Sister Abigail is Nikki Cross? Right? What if the Vulture is Eric Young? Anything is possible. What if it's Rowan? Anything is possible. What if it's Luke? And what if this is another repackaging of the Wyatt family just in a different way? Brought up Randy Orton. And if it gave him, it got a big pop. What if this is Kevin Sullivan and the whatever the Fear people all over again? Right? Give it time. I'm on board for that. SmackDown. What else can I say about SmackDown? I got 3 words. Or 4, because I can't count sometimes. The Kevin Owens Show. So now that all the happiness and the tears is gone about Kofi Kingston, if you've watched me and listened to me for 10 years, not saying I'm not a Kofi fan, because I am. I support Kofi. But I'm not the biggest fan of Kofi Kingston. Nothing against him at all. I like what Kofi brings, but he's not my type of entertaining wrestler that I like, or the spitting of a pro wrestler that I like. I love your Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens. I've been a Kevin Owens fan from day one. Go back to one of my early shows, Around the Block with Mike Knoxxx, on the road to WrestleMania. You had to stop around the blocks to get to the road. I said part of me was upset with Kofi Mania because I couldn't get my KO Mania 4 shirt. Kevin Owens promo in the ring during the Kevin Owens show is all you need to know from SmackDown. Oh, yeah, and Lacey Evans, because she's badass. Roman Reigns, he's still badass. But Kevin Owens stole the show last night on the Kevin Owens show, people. Like, he really, really did. I see your questions. I see your comments. I'm almost done. I will get to them momentarily. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also live on YouTube as well. Make sure you go to the BDSIRnetwork.com and re-air this podcast. TheChairShot.com, hashtag use your head. We're here for you. But what could you not like about those things? Like, I get the boring parts of Raw mostly, not SmackDown as much as 2 hours. It kind of flows a little differently, right? And I'm all in on, no pun intended, on Best in the World, pun intended, okay, with Shane McMahon. I am all in on Shane McMahon. This is the Shane I like from the mean street of Greenwich, Connecticut that we got in the beginning when Shane first came on the scene. This is the Shane McMahon I'm here for. But back to Kevin Owens. The promo in the ring with Xavier Woods and Big E's action figures, priceless. Okay, priceless. I can see Xavier Woods honestly turning on Kofi because it made no sense for him to come out the way he did. That just seems like another setup, right? I'm not saying that it is. I don't think that it should be, but could it be? This is why I like pro wrestling or wrestling entertainment, whatever you want to call it. This is why I watch. This is why I watch, so I can be entertained and I can follow the storyline. So all in all, were they really bad? When you look at these things, at least for me, I don't think it was a bad show. I'm not going to give it a super high grade because I remember watching it live. This is, again, why I don't do my show immediately following Monday Night Raw. This is why I do not do a show immediately following SmackDown, because I think you're in the moment. When I walked out of Adventures Endgame, I wasn't sure if it was that great of a movie. I knew it was great, but I wasn't sure how great it was. When I saw it a second time, I realized how great it was. Avengers Endgame is worth the price of admission more than once. Don't believe me? That's 1.2 billion people that watched it worldwide. 357 million people in America. Last thing about Raw and SmackDown we'll talk about is this whole ratings thing. Well, Raw's losing ratings. Raw's losing ratings. And Dean Ambrose's promo in 9 hours had 1 million, but they only had 2 point something million to watch the show in the third hour. People, you have a cell phone. You have a tablet. You have a computer. You have streaming devices. Hulu, Netflix, DC app. I do have the DC app. YouTube TV. Cobra Kai season 2, great as well. Yes. You consume your entertainment differently than you did before. So when Wrestle Talk, and I don't bring up other people's shows all the time. That's just not my thing. But when they bring up ratings, and fans want to harp on ratings, they matter, but they don't. They matter. They do. Because that's what drives television. It's ratings. But when you're having all these ways of consuming entertainment, go look at The Bachelorette. Go look at American Idol. Go look at The Voice. Go look at anything that's been on for years. They're all losing ratings because television is watched differently than it was watched before. You have to watch it differently. It needs to be watched differently. You have the ability to watch it differently. So it doesn't matter the ratings anymore. They don't matter They really, truly do not matter as much as they used to matter because you have streaming service. If there's a segment of Monday Night Raw you missed, you can go to WWE.com and watch it over. You can go to YouTube anywhere and watch it over. So if you missed something before, you watched TV because you could not afford to miss it. This is what made a TiVo so popular. This is what made a DVR so popular because you didn't want to miss stuff, so you watched it. If you miss something nowadays, especially in the world of professional wrestling, you can go back and watch it later. So outside of sports, you can only really watch sports live, right? Because it's a live action and you're going to get the end results. And I feel it's a different kind of passion when watching them live than wrestling gives you. With the social media, with how to consume it all, you don't have to watch everything live anymore in the world of wrestling, other than like a WrestleMania or pay-per-views, right? Because they won't show them automatically immediately. You have to search for them deep and wide. I like them deep and wide. Or deep and tight, actually. Deep and wide. What the? Okay. That went over my head too. But you don't have to watch them the same. It's so easy to consume anything in wrestling. So when people tell me about ratings, it's in one ear and out the other because ratings don't mean shit like they used to. You can watch everything you need to watch via social media, on your tablet, on your smartphone, on your streaming device. So to watch things live and say, well, the ratings are dropping, it means nothing. Okay. What was on? Was the NBA playoffs on Monday night? I believe they were. Okay. And typically back in the day, they did. And yes, I understand that some of it is a reason. I'm not going to sit here and fool myself and think that losing talent and not catering to an audience that has catered to you for so long, WWE, doesn't matter, because it does. So WWE, it's not all the fans' fault. And it's not all streaming's fault and social media's fault of how we consume entertainment. It's also your fault, WWE. It's also your fault, Vince McMahon. You got 20 writers in the back blowing smoke up your ass, telling you that certain things are entertaining. They used to be. They're not now. At least not in the fans' eyes when it comes to you. Because the fans, Vince McMahon, can't trust you like they used to. If fans could trust you like they used to, I had a meme I put out that said, over the weekend, no one has killed more heroes than Thanos, than the Night King, and Vince McMahon. Because if you watch the weekend, and I've watched, wow. Okay? So when it comes to these things, Vince, you're losing your core audience. And your core audience, okay, that has the kids, that has the moms, that give them entertainment that you still have, the core are going to leave to AEW if it's anywhere near anything better than what you're giving them. If it's anything what they're used to, what they're longing for. You want to put WWE back on the map? Let NXT be what it's supposed to be, what we thought it was, and bring them up to the WWE to do the same things in NXT they did on the WWE roster. That's important to wrestling fans. Seeing believable storylines. And I'll leave it with this, because I like the Firefly Funhouse. Because I'm going to say this much, guys. Shoot me a fair one. Shoot me a DM. It don't matter. This is the fucking truth, people. If The Undertaker was to come out today, you would fucking boo him. Because you would think it was corny. People, when it comes to wrestling, it's like watching a movie. You have to suspend your belief. Yes. You want to have some realism in it, but you have to suspend your disbelief. I said it. If The Undertaker or Sting was to exist today, you would hate them. You would. You would. And I believe if and when AEW introduces a storyline similar to some of the storylines you're getting or vignettes you're getting, like the Fire Funhouse, and other things you may not like in WWE, if it was another company, you would salivate in it. You would marinate in it. You would take a bath in it so deep and drink all the fucking Kool-Aid, you would think it was the best shit in the world. Fact. But that's here or there. I'll get to your comments right now, and then I will break down my top 10 wrestlers of all time list. Let's see what we got here. Jason Campbell sticks in. I still think with Janae and Ross is going to work after he's done filming the movie. He's going back to the WWE because they like to freeze contracts when that wrestler is injured. So you're talking about Dean Ambrose. Hey, if he goes back, I don't see it happening, Michael. I just don't. I just do not see him coming back, at least not no time soon with this vignette. That's for sure. What's going on? Oh, Corey. Damn, did he sign with birth name away? Yeah, Cody did. And that's what the WWE does. When you sign with them, if you have a name, they sign that name. Look, they stole Stone Cold from him, right? It's under contract. The Rock does not use The Rock because every time he uses The Rock, Vince McMahon gets a check. So that's why he's Dwayne Rock Johnson, not The Rock. What else we got here? I can't stand the new Bray Wyatt. Give it time, in my opinion. I don't think him being back unless talking about Brock Lesnar, unless he's there every week or he's not holding the title or only showing up once a month. I understand that, and I agree with you on that one, or at least from fans' perspective. I think he's big match only. I think he's big entertainment only. It didn't bother me. I get the holding up the belt, but if you gave me Brock Lesnar once or twice a month, I'm cool with that. Only if a full-time capacity instead of just being on pay-per-view. Talking about Brock Lesnar. I love to see him with his own stable, talking about Paul Heyman. I fast-forwarded through Sami Zayn, however it's spelled. I think it gives Sami Zayn a chance. That's just me. Coco Beware, ST Jones, Booker T, Mark Henry, Rock, my top 5. I'll show you mine in a second. I am a Uso guy, so I enjoyed it as well. Thank you, Corey. And here's my top black wrestlers list of all time, guys. Remember, I named this and I broke this down over entertaining in the ring, putting butts in the seats, ring ability, mic skills, and overall impact on the business. 5 most important things to me when it comes to professional wrestling. Impact on the business, butts in the seats, mic skills, ring ability, and overall impact. So starting from 10 up to number 1. At number 10, Jay Lethal. To me, Jay Lethal is the quintessential modern day Sting of wrestling. Hear me out when I say that. No, he's not Sting. He's that guy like Sting that has made it everywhere else but in the WWE. Has had contract offers from the WWE like Sting and has turned them down and has made every organization he's been at better by being there. I'm not even the biggest Jay Lethal fan, but Jay Lethal has helped Impact Wrestling. His promo battle with Ric Flair, if you have not seen it, go back and listen to it, watch it. It's the most entertaining thing, one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen in my life in the world of professional wrestling. Him and Ric Flair. Okay? Loved it, loved it, loved it. Look what he's doing for Ring of Honor. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Jay Lethal, number 10, on my list. Number 9 on my list. Damn! Ron Simmons. Ron Farouk Simmons. First African-American black champion in WWE, or I'm sorry, WCW/NWA. Came to WWE, did his thing. Multiple tag team champion. Just an ambassador for wrestling, for blacks in wrestling. One of those, the guys in the back that ran the company behind doors with Taker. One of those guys that was no nonsense kind of guys. Love Ron Farouk Simmons. Number 8, the Junkyard Dog. The Junkyard Dog in any other promotion would have been champ. He was in Georgia champion, right? He put butts in the seats. He could do it all in the ring. He was entertaining. He was charismatic. He was that guy in the 80s. Number 7 on my list. And again, as I said, these are people I'm actually necessarily fans of, but I believe they are who they've done for the business. How could you not put Kofi Kingston there? He is a Grand Slam champion in the WWE, multiple U.S. tag team champion. Multiple U.S. champion, multiple tag team champion, multiple intercontinental champion. Now, some people would say the first ever full-blooded American black WWE champion. Second, next to The Rock, being half Samoan and half black champion there is Kofi Kingston. Number 6, Mark Henry. Mark Henry. Number 5. This is where you can come at me. Devon Dudley. You ask why? Who has had more championships than... I know I got more. Hell, I don't even got more championships than Devon Dudley. The Belt Kings together don't have more. We actually got a lot of damn belts in the Belt Kings, but you get my point. Devon Dudley is an underrated tag team specialist, not to mention what he does backstage in the ring, entertaining. Devon Dudley, number 5 on my list. Number 4 on my list, a classic. Can never go without being said. If not for him, I don't think a lot of black wrestlers would be where they are or know how to be where they are. Sorry. Honorable mention, not on my top 10, not talking about Tony Atlas. Damn sure not talking about Ahmed Johnson. We're talking about the one true king, Ernie Ladd. Hands down, one of the greatest of all time. Number 2 on my list, Booker T. You already know what Booker T did. Number 1, The Rock. Right? So, top 10 black wrestlers of all time. The Rock, Booker T, Ernie Ladd, Devon Dudley, Mark Henry, Kofi Kingston, Junkyard Dog, Ron Farouk Simmons, Jay Lethal. I knew I was forgetting somebody. So I messed all the way up. I have it here. And this is why you have notes, people. So you can look at your notes. Number 10 should be on the list. And I didn't put him there or put her there. Okay. I have it right here. Let me bring it back up. Give me a second. Patience, people. Patience. Okay. Number 10, Abdullah the Butcher. Abdullah the Butcher went through so much as a professional wrestler. So I'll make sure I put the list back out there for you guys to see. But I have Abdullah the Butcher 10, Jay Lethal 9, Ron Simmons, Junkyard Dog, Kofi Kingston, Mark Henry, Devon Dudley, Ernie Ladd, Booker T, and The Rock. Your top 10 black wrestlers of all time. Let's see what this list has to say. That was a classic. I like JYD. Who doesn't like JYD? Vincent O'Connell says, Michael Ace Boogie. Mike's Grant here. It's my early top 10 African-American wrestlers right now. He's giving me his. He has Iceman King Parsons. Love him. Cannot argue that. Kofi Kingston, Too Cold Scorpio. I will argue Too Cold Scorpio being in the top 10. Mark Henry, Butch Reed. I thought Butch Reed is my number 11. And I told y'all when I was going to do this list that I had Butch Reed on that list. But as I went through it, he doesn't have enough titles to put him much higher than like 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's why I didn't have Butch Reed crack, I'm sorry. My top 10. Bad News Brown, same reasons. Jay Lethal, Booker T, The Rock, and Ron Simmons, number 1. Wow. Will not argue that. That's your list. Like to know your criteria is behind it. But hey, much respect. It says honorable mentions, which I have a lot of these honorable mentions as well. That's Kamala's on my list. Tony Atlas was on my list. Ahmed Johnson on my list. D'Lo Brown, ACH, MVP, and Swan? Really? Wow. Why not ST Jones? Well, here's my reason why I didn't have ST Jones in my top 10, Mr. Vinny Pio. Give me your argument for putting ST Jones in the top 10. I'll wait because you just can't. I would put Sasha Banks. I would put Kamala. I would put Tony Atlas before I put ST Jones in my top list. And it's nothing against ST Jones. We have to talk about the times, people, and everything. Here's the thing. I had this discussion with somebody today at work, right? And not to be religious or nothing. But if you think that Jesus or God stopped with the Old Testament, then you're just living in a messed up world. That's why they have Old Testament and New Testament. If you think God is still doing the same things or have not evolved in this world and what he's created, or not necessarily change his hardcore values, but evolve, come on. Where you at? Things evolve. And ST Jones, when you look at today's criteria and what we're talking, I'm not talking about not saying he's not a pioneer. I'm not saying none of these guys are not pioneers. When I think top 10, ST Jones doesn't come off my list. Doesn't come off my tongue. I would put Coco Beware, who I thought did not put him on this top 10. Okay, because he did those things by putting butts in the seats. Okay, being an impact. You gotta think what he was doing at that time. WrestleMania 3, like Coco Beware done his thing in the WWE. I can't say the same for ST Jones. That's just me. I have no I know he had no accolades, but he was always a guy that would beat up on kind of lives like the Brooklyn Brawler. Like, come on, we're talking about enhancement talent. And the Brooklyn Brawler, if that's the case, put Norman Smiley in your top 10. If that's the case, Vinny, it doesn't, I don't see how that equates to being a top 10 guy. When you think top 10, so think top 10. Where are you putting your top 10 quarterbacks, your top 10 NBA players, right? Are you really putting Paul Gasol in your top 10 players? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're just not doing it. Okay? You're not. You're just not. It's just certain people, no matter how good they were, are not the best of all time list available. That's my opinion. Tuco Scorpio did a lot of high flying. That Swan. Okay, they're saying ACH used a reference plus Butch Reed was doomed fine time. Listen, not knocking natural Butch Reed. Okay, and I'm not knocking his tag team resume. Or again, this isn't my list of my fans. I am a fan of the natural Butch Reed, true and through. Okay, I just don't think he's there. That's all. Tuco Scorpio, I get what he did, but it's about what happened after that, right? His career pretty much faded out after ECW. And when he went to ECW, he wasn't the two scores, when he went back to ECW, if you will, after coming to becoming Flash Funk, he was never the same. And I've interviewed Tuco Scorpio. I love Tuco Scorpio. He's just, to me, not a top 10 guy, but that's okay. You're entitled like I'm entitled. And that's what makes this good. This is what makes it a conversational piece. So you add yours down below as my microphone moves again. Yes, I watch Endgame more than once. I loved it on my YouTube now as well. I loved it. I don't see what's not to like about Endgame. I saw it twice, and I'm going to go see it a third time, probably Sunday, to be honest with you. But guys, that's my time. I got nothing but time in the world, but that's my week in wrestling, guys. If I had to give it a belt grade, because I'm not giving just Raw and SmackDown a grade. I'm giving the week that was wrestling a grade. So when I look at the promo from Cody Rhodes, Jesus. When I look at the promo cut by Jon Mox and aka Dean Ambrose, and then I put together the things I took out of being good from Raw and SmackDown, I gotta give the week in wrestling a 4 out of 5 Intercontinental Ultimate Warrior titles. A 4 out of 5. And listen, yeah, a lot of that 4 is those 2 promos, but altogether it was good. 4 out of 5 Ultimate Warrior Intercontinental title runs. I absolutely am okay with what I got. But as I like to say, like my man Jerry Johns would say, comment below, let me know. Make sure you share this video on wherever your social media is, wherever groups you're in wrestling-wise. Get it out there for me, guys. Share this video. Go download the podcast on BDSIRnetwork.com. If you're on iTunes, if you're an Android user, it's available on Stitcher as well, and also Google Play podcast as well. So make sure you just go there, download the show, go to chairshot.com, use your head, follow them on Twitter as well at thechairshot.com, and follow yours truly on Twitter and at Mike Knoxxx with 3 X's, and just get like me. All right, y'all, listen, I'm out of here. Gonna go eat some spaghetti and meatballs. How about you? All right, I'm out of here. Peace.